We're breaking down the video of Amber Heard being afraid, in quotes, of Johnny Depp. And also, I brought my own expert in to talk about the body language and the movements of it all. Hey guys, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps. Today, we are breaking down Amber Heard on the stand. We're going to talk about that clip that you saw a little bit of. We have the full clip of her being afraid in the courtroom and so much more. And so I'm very excited about this one. I have my favorite co-host here with me, Jay, my husband, and he's going to tell you why he's uniquely qualified to break down why we think lies are being told. Say hi, Jay.
Hello, and this is Jay, also found on YouTube as Dr. Bad Vibes. And much of my experience came from real-world anecdotal things, mainly many years of people lying straight to my face, dead to my eyes, leaving me to figure out, are they telling the truth or what? Not being coy, I just don't like going into too many personal details. Also, to prepare for this and to pump up my experience, I locked myself in a room and I blasted Body Talk by Rat for 24 hours straight. So I don't feel like feeling, but I feel like talking about Body Talk.
Yeah, so again, same with me. I don't go into personal details, but I worked in a public service job for a very long time, and so I definitely had my fair share of strange interactions and feel like I can pick up on cues pretty good, but nothing like Jay. Jay has a unique position where he spends so many hours having people lie to him to try to convince him or talk him into situations or things, and he kind of has to sort through who's telling the truth or not. So I thought, hey, you're a good one to have on to talk about what you're seeing and what you've experienced and some, like he said, anecdotal evidence about things that he's observed about this. Plus, I just want to look at the strange movements of her on the stand, and I also want to talk about that scene that's going viral about where she appears to be afraid when they almost cross paths in the courtroom. I wanted to point out that YouTube just added a thank you button to my videos, which I'm super excited about. Anything given through the thank you button comes straight to me and will be put toward the new microphone I'm saving for. So again, thank you all who have contributed. It truly means a lot to me. I appreciate every single one of you. So check that out. Let's get into this.
So I guess when using body language as an indicator, and along with speech and other things going on, it's hard to, there's not like a set checkbox of things to look for everybody. Everybody's got their own way of speaking and moving, and obviously I don't know Amber Heard. I haven't been around her enough, but seeing her talk for an extended amount of time, things are popping up. A lot of it's just kind of intuitive, or personal intuition, gut feeling. In general, like my biggest thing is when people have diarrhea of the mouth and they just will not quit talking, especially being overly complimentary of things that have no relevance to anything. I didn't pick up much of that. I did think it was odd the way she was trying to compliment his kids. She did call them weirdos, but tried to pass that off as a compliment in a way. But the big thing that she does a lot is the constant movement, shifting around, looking for approval, looking away at certain times. Although that could be also due to what was in the Kleenex, but that's up for debate. But yeah, just a lot of unnatural movements. I think that's a big tell.
So going along with this theme, I wanted to look at specific things that I've noticed and that Jay has told me about body language having to do with, often associated with lying, not always, but usually. One thing that comes up a lot is head tilting. It seems to be almost like an unnatural movement for people. And so that is something that I've picked up on a lot. I'm sure you guys have too if you've been watching the case. The head tilting over and over. It's very odd and very noticeable. So I isolated some incidents here so you could see it and actually slowed it down so you could see the the head tilts that keep happening.
And then there's things that aren't even body language per se, but like things that she's doing, like almost having a costume show. Like she's dressed wildly different every day for seemingly reasons to catch the jury's attention or force, certain angles to see her react. And then she gets on the stand and I guess she's trying to look as the meek, I couldn't have done this person. I mean, she's dressed like Angela from The Office with a librarian hairdo. I mean, she looks as non-threatening as possible. But a lot of overly dramatic emotions that seem to be forced, crocodile tears, it seems. Just kind of weird, like they've caught her on camera smiling a few times for no reason. And a lot of constant blinking. Sometimes that's a sign. I mean, everybody's different. Again, that could be the Kleenex. We don't know. But, yeah, I mean, it's just a lot of stuff adding up that just seem off.
Another thing that comes up quite a bit when researching and learning about body language is associated with lying is blinking a lot or even holding your eyes closed quite a bit. I read that has to do with almost like hiding away from the lie or something, or trying to, shield yourself, something like that. But this was just a random part that I zoomed in on, and I would say pay attention to the eyes because you'll see lots of that going on here. If you pick any clip out of the testimony, you see it quite a bit. I noticed it when she's just talking on the stand, just lots of this eye stuff going on. Lots of blinking, lots of holding the eyes closed, that sort of thing.
So going back a little bit, we touched on this briefly, but something that comes up a lot, when I personally deal with these things, is when it's just overly emotionally charged. Either stories like trying to make you feel sad, or they're, it's just like a perfect storm of tragedy that you would only hear on like America's Got Talent or something, when they talk about the contestants' home life. But, then their actual reactions, like they get overly, like melodramatic with their emotions, like overly angry. I mean, look up any Karen public meltdown compilation. Usually when they get called out on their BS, that's when they totally lose their minds because they can't argue because they know they've been caught. It's not exactly what we're seeing, but we're seeing like hints of that, I think. And as things are coming out and we're seeing more inconsistencies and stories not matching up, which, if you're lying, obviously that's going to happen over time. You tell so many tales, you can't connect them right anymore. But you've probably seen a lot of the thumbnails, like the exaggerated sadness and, sometimes anger in some of the older recordings. It's just, I don't know. I don't know her. I don't know what her baseline is, but it seems overly exaggerated for most people.
So something else that keeps coming up in the comments, and especially when we're live chatting through the trial, is the makeup. It's hard. This doesn't even show it as much, but, well, you can see it there. When she turns, she's looking at the jury, by the way, which I find very odd because I know you need to look at them some, but it's like she's directly staring each one down. It's very, very strange. But I would call attention to the cheek makeup. A lot of people are finding that very odd, almost, I have no idea, but it's almost like painting up bruises is what people are saying. It looks like it's almost a reminder of, hey, look what can happen to my face. Also, showing almost like a frailness, like showing skeletal. It just strikes me as odd in a case like this to play up cheekbones so much. And I find it interesting because if you look at other pictures of her, she does, from what I could tell, it's not makeup like this. So the makeup has changed for the trial to look a specific way.
So something we're going to show you, I guess this is another ultimate body language visual here. We're going to play the clip, uncut. Just check this out and watch Amber's reaction to Johnny and his team going. They're calling for breaks, so they're probably going to lunch. Where they're trying to go through a door to the left of her as she's coming down from the stand.
Yeah, so in case you haven't seen it, the jury has, I guess they take a break, and when the jury walks in or out of the courtroom, everybody stands, so that's why everybody's standing up looking toward the jury as they leave, and you'll see what happens next. We're going to play the clip uninterrupted with the original audio, and then we're going to slow it down and talk about it scene by scene.
All right, so we'll come back at 4:02, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
All right.
So hey, breaking news. As we were playing this, I noticed something that I didn't notice before. So you may be familiar with the Kleenex debacle. If not, we'll have a video on that up soon too, I'm sure. But basically, while she was giving testimony, she rubbed a Kleenex on her face very strangely. It seemed to inhale something. Do the math on that. So anyway, she got up right here. She got her water bottle, and I noticed she picked up the Kleenex. Now, me, when I use a Kleenex, I throw it in the trash. I don't carry it with me after I've used it. And I'm sure there's a little bin behind the stand there, I would think. Or otherwise, there could potentially be a whole table full of used Kleenexes. So that's very odd. Almost like she didn't want to leave it behind for some reason.
Yeah, the Kleenex thing is completely fascinating, so we'll probably put out a video on that. But for now, let's break this down. Okay, so jury is leaving. They're on a break. Everybody stands, like we said, and they're all facing the jury. Amber Heard has been testifying. She's in the middle of her testimony, so that's why, of course, she's in the box. We know this. Okay, if you watch this video, after the jury leaves, the judge addresses everybody about what time to be back. The sheriff, the police officer, is standing right next to Amber right here. You can see her right there in the shot. When the judge stops speaking and everybody is doing their thing and they find out what time, right here you see the police officer wave her on, so she grabs her water bottle and that infamous tissue and leaves the stand. So watch, she's going to leave. Happens to be a door right there, so Johnny and his team were going to break through that door.
So yeah, they're going to break. Johnny's walking up. Look, he's not even paying attention to her. He's looking at his team, talking, kind of smiling. Just then, I think he notices, like, oh, she's right there. And at the same point, she locks eyes with Johnny and then does the overly exaggerated "Jeepers Creepers" and recoils against the wall like he's going to go after her, despite being two bailiffs in between them. I wonder if the jury's still in the room. The cameras definitely are, so, see how that plays out.
Yeah, I've watched this a million times, and to me, it just screams what's going on. She is hyper-focused on every single thing he is doing and the dramatic effects of it all, and he's just like, what? What's happening? What? Why is this crazy lady backing up for me? What's going on? Just completely, I guess, unaware, just, as you would be if you're just trying to not pay attention to the psychopath in front of you. But anyway, just such an interesting clip for us. I've watched that clip a million times and I find it fascinating because I just feel like, it's just more of her mind games at work. That's my opinion on that. But I'm going to end it here. That's it for us. It's just, to me, so fascinating to break down all of these things we notice and to talk about them and to talk to you guys about it. Anybody in the comments pick up on anything like that, please share, because I love reading that. I love watching the body language experts on YouTube. They're great about just everything that they're noticing. A lot of the eye stuff keeps coming up for people. The blinking, the weird eye movements of it all. It's just fascinating to me. But So thank you guys so much for watching. We really appreciate it. We hope you've enjoyed this video. If you're interested in more videos like this, please let us know. Otherwise, we'll move on to, I want to talk about the tissue of it all. If you don't know what I'm talking about there's weird stuff to unpack. But thank you guys so much for watching.
Yeah, it's not what you think. Anyways, thanks for having me. And hope the trial is not streaming next week, so that gave me an idea. Check out my channel, Dr. Bad Vibes, and I'm going to try to stream some Johnny Depp related video games. Let's see what I can dig up and how my schedule goes. If you subscribe to my channel, you can see the stream card when I decide to do it, probably about 9 and 12 on the weekday mornings. Hopefully I'll see you there. Take care.
Again, a most sincere and huge thank you to everybody who has clicked that thanks button. It really does help out so very much. I don't want to get into the inside baseball of it all, but YouTube is being very odd about the trial and not wanting to run advertisements through it. It's very strange. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Who cares? So basically, I'm doing this as volunteer work right now, and those thanks are hugely helping toward the cost of the new mic, and I appreciate that so very much. Thank you guys for everything. I hope you have the best day, and I'll be coming back soon with more of this nonsense. Again, a huge thank you to Jay for being here. Be sure to check out his channel, Dr. Bad Vibes, all one word, no spaces, on YouTube, and I will be back soon.